everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Haas, and today we're going to be talking about Cardano, where I think it can go in the near term, and then also give a quick update on the crypto market, what's happening today, and where we should expect it to go in this next week. So let's just jump right into Cardano. We're looking at the 1 hour chart here. Obviously, we're floating at around $1.20, which is a pretty good price for Cardano. I know a lot of people are upset that it's not higher. Personally, I think anyone that is upset with $1.20 Cardano is extremely impatient and just got in at above $1 and just unhappy that they didn't get in earlier. It is what it is. Now, that being said, we've talked about on the channel before where we think Cardano can go, and we still believe that Cardano is going to make those moves. But especially now, considering where Bitcoin is and where other altcoins are, we have Ethereum at 1800, we have Bitcoin at 57.5. We have a lot of movement amongst altcoins as well. We have VeChain almost 9 cents. We have XLM Stellar back at the 40-cent mark. Even XRP is at 56 cents. But we still have Cardano and DOT and a few others just floating around their normal price targets. So nothing really that is sparking all-time highs or anything like that. So where are we looking at for the near term? And to answer that question, I'm going to be looking at previous pumps, where it's gone, where it's settled, and discuss from there. So one big thing I've noticed, and typically this, maybe conjecture or whatever, longer consolidation periods and longer bear markets are going to give a more sustainable pump. Not saying that it's going to be a greater pump, but it's going to be more sustainable in the fact that it won't drop nearly as much. And we see that over long periods of accumulation, but with shorter periods of accumulation, we're going to have less support. So to kind of go over our previous pumps, looking back at when Cardano was 14 cents, we saw a nice shoot up to about 33 cents, a nice trading level, and then finally our shoot up to above $1. Now, ever since this shoot up above $1, we've had considerable amounts of not resistance per se, but definite downturns in terms of the market. We had a scary wick here, but this was to be expected after a huge parabolic rise. And then we have another couple of scary dips. But the important thing is the narrative behind these scary dips, and to understand that a lot of people were shitting on Cardano necessarily and saying, Cardano is a shitcoin or buying into a Ponzi. So we do see that we've had a considerable amount at this point of stability regardless of the Bitcoin volatility. So even though Bitcoin has moved the needle and brought Cardano down to, pretty scary levels, I'd say most of these downturn movements are due to Bitcoin and legacy markets going on a downturn and bringing Cardano and other altcoins with it. So I don't see anything necessarily concerning. And the fact that we've held primarily above $1 and even higher than that, above $1.10 primarily, I think that is all good news for Cardano. So where are we going? I think realistically, because we have the Alonzo update coming in, so we're going to have smart contract capability brought onto the Cardano system, which of course is the big thing that makes Ethereum. It makes Ethereum being able to settle these smart contracts. Just as a brief description for people that don't know, normally to get something done, a function or a transaction, you would write up a contract with another person, they'd sign it, and you would trust the other person to fulfill their agreement in that contract. What smart contracts do is it takes that trust of human trust out of the entire equation, which is the whole point of cryptocurrency. It takes trust out of it and brings it all down to code. So everything happens exactly how the contract details that it should happen. This is why things like peer-to-peer lending in a blockchain environment is so powerful, because you know that the default rates are going to be significantly lower than legacy systems. So this is why I'm so excited for the next frontier of DeFi. Because when we're able to loan our capital and be able to fund small businesses and other loan ventures and be able to get a return out of that, that's incredible. We're making our money work for us. And this is where we're going in terms of peer-to-peer lending. We're taking finance away from the legacy system and bringing it more in terms of the people. And I know a lot of people are investing in Cardano for the quick pump, for the price increase. Now, if we're talking about the price increase with Alonzo and everything else, I think we're looking over a $2 ADA. I can't see a near term that we don't have an over $2 ADA. I really do believe that. That being said, a couple of my predictions have fallen short. Of course, I said that we might get a $3 ADA by March, and that obviously didn't happen. But that being said, I didn't really plan for the Bitcoin capitulation, and I should have. These are things that are anticipated. You can see them coming. And I personally should have seen the Bitcoin capitulation coming. Now, that doesn't mean that Bitcoin is done its bull market. We're still going. We still have at least 2 months left of this bull market. But looking at previous bull markets before, we know that Bitcoin goes on these periods of capitulation. And we know that the recoveries after that usually dictate what's about to happen, especially with altcoins. So I do think Bitcoin not being at 60,000 yet is actually a good sign for altcoins, because we do see a lot of alts hitting all-time highs. Now, one big bullish indicator that we're about to see altcoins really fly is going to be Ethereum. Ethereum is above 1800, which I know it's struggled above this point. It's really at a point that it can't hold that much. And if we look, we haven't seen many points that it's held above 1800 for an extended period of time. It's always been this area of contention. So we are at this critical point with Ethereum. And as well Bitcoin, but Bitcoin less critical because we're not at that 60,000 mark. We're not at that all-time high that we previously were. With Ethereum, we're at a little bit more of a critical spot, whereas if Ethereum does breach its $1,800 and even $2,000 mark and is able to hold above that, we could see a big light up for a lot of altcoins, that being Cardano, that being Polkadot, possibly Chainlink, and then going down the list of the alts that I own and the alts that I have in our crypto portfolio. In terms of the crypto market right now, we're sitting at $1.85 trillion in terms of the global whole total market cap. Bitcoin is at 57.5. Ethereum is so far past 1800 and holding. We had Binance Coin go through a big pump over the weekend, so that's shot up. We did also see PancakeSwap shoot above $17 over the weekend. Polkadot has made a full recovery from its low of $29, and even I wanted to buy at $29. I still believe that Polkadot is very, very undervalued at this price, even at this price. But that's going to be a whole nother video talking about Polkadot, KSM, and what's about to happen with these Polkadot parachains and where Polkadot's going to go. And we see XRP holding on to that 7 spot pretty well in terms of the market cap. The market cap is well over Uniswap. Now, this being said, I don't expect Uniswap to stay in this position, but I do expect the market cap to go up. But in terms of growth in other cryptocurrencies, I don't expect that it's going to have as much of an ROI at this point, just because of how much it's moved. Now, I could be wrong, could be completely wrong, but we do have Uniswap version 3 coming out, and you should be aware of that. Having exposure to Uniswap is probably too risky not to have. For me specifically, I YOLO'd like $50 to $60 into Uniswap, and that grew a huge amount. I would consider Uniswap. If you don't have Uniswap, I would at least pick up a couple of tokens, but I wouldn't be being super aggressive into Uniswap at this point. With Theta, it's really hard for me to justify buying Theta. It's so hard. But Theta still has plenty of room to go in terms of the market capitalization. It can grow. In the next 5 years, this price is going to seem cheap. So I want to preface everything that I'm saying with this. But for now, it's just really hard for me to justify buying into Theta. That being said, it's a great project. I wouldn't feel bad if you wanted to just pick up a little bit of Theta to get some exposure, but don't be dumping in a bunch of money, because that's a quick way to get burned. But it does seem to be holding pretty well at that $13 mark, and I knew Theta could go a high amount, but I never expected that the ROI would be this crazy. So again, congratulations to Theta holders. It has definitely helped, and it definitely propped up my own portfolio even during the downturn. I saw, red all day, but at least Theta was kind of Atlas holding up the world, right? So good job to Theta there. A lot of people say that Litecoin is going to be a good ROI, and they're picking up Litecoin. I don't think so. We've seen Litecoin drop in the total market cap in terms of the spot, and I do think Litecoin is going to lose dominance in this crypto market, making way for more viable projects in the top 10. And again, you got to think about this top 10. I don't believe that this top 10, how we see it here, is going to be the top 10 that we see in the next couple months. Go ahead and comment down below, actually, what do you think the next top 10 is going to look like by the end of this bull cycle? So let's talk about September 2021. We're talking about capitulation. We're going down. What are our top 10 cryptocurrencies on this list. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'll comment down below as well and let you guys know my thoughts. So just to give a summary and leave the video on Cardano where it started, I do think that Cardano in the near term can hit that $2 mark, most likely prior to the Alonso update. Often we see pumps before updates. It could happen after, but often the prices are already baked in by the time that the update happens. And again, a lot of the reason is because the market is all based on human emotions. It's not really based on the news and logic. It's just based on how we act on certain things. So it's to be expected that possibly we will hit that before the Alonso update, but it's also equally as possible that we hit it during Alonso. That being said, let's talk about how much that the market cap needs to grow. So we have our calculator here. Now we have a 32 billion market supply. So we have 32 billion Cardano in existence. And we have a market capitalization of $38.5 billion. So already in terms of the grand scheme of the crypto market cap, we are barely a percent. We're not even close to a percent of the total crypto market cap in terms of Cardano. I personally think we could end up in the multi-$100 billion range in terms of market cap, maybe more. People say that we're going to hit $1 trillion market cap. I think are a little out of touch with reality, but hey, I could just be a bear. So let's talk about this. So we have a $32 billion circulating supply, and we want to times that by $2 because we want $2 per ADA. That means we need a $64 billion market cap for Cardano. So it's roughly a $26 billion market cap increase, which is about an 80% increase from where Cardano is right now. Now you might think that's a lot of money to have to flow into the market, but when you can consider some moves that went well above the 100% mark, being from 40 cents to 90 to $1, I do believe that this 80% move is more than realistic in terms of where we are in the current bull market, where Cardano is, and what updates are coming. So it is actually realistic that we could see approximately $26 billion enter the market and enter Cardano specifically. That could be from Bitcoin profits, wherever it may be, especially if we see Bitcoin hitting that 60,000 mark. We could see people take their profits from Bitcoin, moving it into Cardano and other altcoins to get more risk exposure and grow their investment on Bitcoin. So it's all very possible. It's all not a lot of money when we're just talking about barely $30 billion. We're really not talking about a lot of money. I know it can seem like a lot for everyone else. I know I certainly don't have $1 billion in my back pocket, but at the same time, when you're looking at global market caps and global economies and global markets, a couple billion, it's really nothing. But that's it for me, everybody. I hope this video has given you some understanding on where Cardano can go in the near term. If you got value out of this video, please go ahead and give me a like. Comment down below again what you think the top 10 cryptos are going to be going out of 2021. All right, everyone. Happy hodling.